Hey, what's up everybody? Loris here, founder of Carrier Intelligence, and today I want to talk to you about something that not many trucking companies actually think about. And that quite simply is, are you attracting the right or wrong drivers? Alright, so what do I mean by that? Well, it really falls into a couple umbrellas. We have wrong drivers and right drivers. Now this is generalizing, but it is pretty much the truth. Wrong drivers are the drivers that are focusing on the things that actually don't matter. Things like sign-on bonus, okay? If you're going out there and littering your ads, your Indeed posts, what have you, with sign-on bonuses, cents per mile, what have you, that is attracting the wrong drivers. Because drivers that care about sign-on bonuses and cents per mile are usually money-motivated drivers that are either unemployed or solely driven by cents per mile. And if you're going to win a driver on cents per mile or a sign-on bonus, you can lose them just as fast. Because quite frankly, there's only one company at the top that pays the highest rate. And unless you're that company, you're always at subject of losing if you focus on this. All right, so you don't want to focus on sign-on bonus or cents per mile. When you focus on these things, sign-on bonus, rate per mile, you're going to attract typically more unemployed drivers or drivers that are only money motivated. Drivers that do this are more likely to job hop, okay? It's not uncommon to see a driver that's worked at 10 plus companies in a year because they're chasing the sign-on bonuses and chasing the rate per mile. That's a huge problem. And when this occurs, you always have a revolving door. You know what I mean? So most companies do this. They focus on, hey, here's our rate per mile, here's our sign-on bonus. Yes, we treat our drivers like family. Everybody else says the same thing. But in the end, they focus on, well, we have a sign-on bonus of $5,000 and our rate per miles, this based off experience level, whatever. The point is you're doing this circular logic, and it's just kind of this spin wheel that keeps going. Is you bring drivers in, they're not the right drivers, they leave. Revolving door, keeps happening again and again, okay? So this is the wrong type of drivers to be recruiting, and honestly it is your fault because you're putting the messaging out to attract those wrong drivers. So what do right drivers look like, and what does that process look like of trying to bring those better drivers in? Well, if you've watched any previous videos I put together, I hinted a lot at a USP, your unique selling proposition. That unique selling proposition is something unique to you and pretty much you alone. Doesn't matter if you're a drive-in carrier that has 50 trucks, and 10 miles over there's a drive-in carrier that has 50 trucks as well. Your companies are not the same. They never are. There's all these intricacies and things that make you guys different, and those differences, those nuances, is really the stuff that matters over time, and it comes down to what a lot of drivers like about you, right? So you want to focus on your unique selling proposition. When you focus on that, and drivers come in because of that, that is going to be a much more qualified, high caliber driver that's actually invested in you. And it leads to the next point of when you focus on that USP, these drivers are going to want you. And that's a huge thing because most companies don't have this. They have driver leads. They spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars monthly to just bring in a high volume of leads, circle through the hundreds to find one, and this is the process that every company does, right? So if you have the ability to bring in a more highly caliber lead that's actually interested in working for your company, that is a huge thing. Another thing about this is these drivers, when you're focusing on that USP, you're targeting the drivers in the right place, these drivers are not typically the ones that are on Craigslist, right? They're not on Indeed, they're not on ZipRecruiter. You know what I mean? Because that all goes down to the targeting where you're finding the drivers. You want to focus your marketing efforts on where good drivers actually spend their time. And when you do that, when you focus on advertising disruptively in front of those drivers where they actually spend their time, we know those drivers are not on places like Craigslist, Indeed, ZipRecruiter, CDL Life, etc. Okay, because the good drivers are not there. And usually, if a driver is not on Craigslist, Indeed, what have you, it's not on there because they're employed. quite frankly, they already have a job, they're already working, and that's a good thing. We don't look for drivers that are unemployed, money motivated. We want to find those good drivers that are at another company, but that company is not a good fit for them. So these drivers are already good, they're already working, they're already employed, they're just not at the right company yet because they haven't met you. And when drivers are employed, they're not usually looking for jobs as much, right? And when you put all this together, when you focus on disruptive attraction methods via your USP, you're going to attract more drivers that are highly qualified, motivated to work for you, more likely to answer the phone when you call, more likely to fill out their applications quickly, more likely to show up at orientation on time, more likely to work for you a long time. And that's what it all comes down to. So hopefully this was insightful. Any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. See you in the next one.